So like I like the idea of Newtypes being like just a more evolved human race and being able to quickly get into and pilot a Gundam.
Yeah.
Or being able to like intuitively know what the enemy's doing.
Sure.
But fuck off with that's what I'm saying, dude. Humans and shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on.
Two good ones in a row. Wow.
That was okay. That one, I can do that.
Can you?
Yeah.
That remains to have been seen.
What's up, Mikey? You jealous, dog?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
You know what, my Shweebs? Shweebs, you tell them who does it better.
Who does the snippy snap better? They don't. I don't think they've ever seen a snip snap.
Well, I don't know. Well, I mean,
Snip snap.
To be honest, I like everything Mikey does better than I do. So
Oh, thank you, Jay. I appreciate that.
that's just facts.
So our listeners probably wouldn't have seen it, but
Seen what? The snip snap?
the snip snap.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't have seen the clapper.
No, they have no idea what we're talking about.
No.
They do know what we're about to be talking
All
about.
I
though.
can say is Mikey makes a fucking mean breakfast.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is 100% true.
And
Breakfast
cheers
is one
to
of
that.
my fucking favorite meals.
Best breakfast I've ever had, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
fucking blew
That's
my
huge.
mind. I hugged him.
Wow.
I literally I walked up to him and I was just like, dude.
Yeah.
I left my meal and I was like, listen, where's
Yeah.
the chef? I want to talk to the fucking chef. You know,
Yeah.
he's like, sir, yes, what's and I'm like, listen to me right fucking now. That was the best meal I ever fucking had. You know?
Are we in New York now?
Yeah, I got all Tony Soprano with
Yeah,
it.
Okay,
Sopranos.
Hell yeah. Gabagoo. Is that what he made for
Yeah.
you?
No.
Oh.
All right. Welcome back to Anime Shmanime.
What's up,
Welcome.
Shweebs?
And again, I am on the Senpai's corner.
Senpai for another week.
And I
Yeah.
am again on my bullshit.
Yeah, and I am just the same as I always am. I guess that means also on my bullshit.
Yep.
So for those of you who were here with us last week, this is part 2, or I guess just another week and continuation of the Gundam UC, so Universal Century series. This is Char's Counterattack. And also, spoiler warning, because we didn't do a very good job.
We didn't do a spoiler warning last time. We just got into it.
we didn't do a very good job reminding people. We are going to spoil the shit out of it.
Absolutely.
But I think this is like really the culmination of the rivalry between Amuro and Char.
100%.
And also the animation's better. The fucking Gundam designs are way better.
Way better.
Yeah, way cooler.
Miles better.
Yeah, like this is some better shit. But Jay over there is definitely more invested in it than I am. So that's why he's sitting over there.
Jay is a Gundam queen.
A little bit. I mean, I do consider my love of Gundam in general to be like on par with Mikey, but like for like this early UC shit,
Okay.
I'm definitely like a little deeper. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? When we get later on into like Seed and some of the 90s,
Unicorn,
the
shit.
90s and 2000s shit, Mikey will definitely be taking the reins on that from me. But
Yeah. We've kind of established a few times, I think, in previous episodes that like you're a classics guy. I mean, you like the new stuff too. Don't get me wrong. You both like both.
like
Yeah.
both.
But you lean into classics really hard, and you are the guy who has like 30 shows on the go that are all brand new.
Yeah.
Which, you know what I mean?
But at
So,
the
like-
same time, the last time he was sitting there was fucking Dragon Maid.
That's
This
true.
is very
You're right.
true.
That's what I'm saying. You both live in both camps, but if we had to plop one person in each role,
Yeah, you know what?
it does
though?
break down
you
that
watch
way.
way more new anime than I do.
Yeah, like
Way
as far as
more.
like consuming anime, we've already established I consume way too much.
Yeah.
Mikey's like Kirby, but with
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah. Yeah. Earlier today, we were standing in the kitchen and we were like,
That was too dry.
Never mind. Mikey is not at all like Kirby.
yeah, well, he doesn't get the powers.
I
So
don't get the power. But yeah, but the anime that Jay is into, he's way more into the details and like
sure.
the culture, the all the other history, the lore.
Yeah. The impact,
Sure.
the influence, yeah.
Influence. And like I know you were like even with Dragon Maid, you were on like forms, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah, I go deep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get on there one of these days too.
I go really fuck.
I stay away from the forums and shit, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't care what the community is really saying. Like I should probably
Yeah.
care. I do a little bit.
Yeah.
But for the most part,
Yeah,
Mikey's,
I'm dipping my toes
Mikey's
in.
a solitary guy. Okay.
Mikey just wants to watch his anime in peace without all of you, except when you watch our podcast.
no, I do love you. I love our Shweebs.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to talk to you.
That's not true. That is not fucking true. I talk to some of the dudes in the comments.
I know, dude. I'm
do.
rooting.
You're
Yeah,
very
I'm
good
rooting.
with
yeah, and it's great interacting with
Yeah.
people with
Yeah.
similar interests. But I just find with the forums, there's just so much going on,
Yeah.
and especially
so much.
watching as many shows as I do, I just don't
That'd
have
be a lot of
How,
forums.
how
Yeah.
could you, man?
Yeah.
How could you even possibly keep up?
Yeah.
No, for
Well,
sure.
I'm gonna start dipping my toes in more for you. I already started. I pissed off a bunch of anime nerds online the other day.
Yeah,
in
you
the
did.
Inuyasha subreddit by claiming that it's all about bestiality, and they didn't like it.
You got to keep in mind though, you're on an Inuyasha board. You also pissed off some furries, but
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I
wait
digress.
Wait until we do.
I thought I would have
Beastars.
been actually maybe what I did was validate the furries.
No. What validated the furries is when we cover Beastars.
Okay.
it was gonna weird me out on that one. I'm not.
That is a furry's wet dream, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
those ones give me
I'm
the
not king shaming by any
heebie-jeebies.
way.
Yeah.
Right, but like
You're empowering them.
I am. Like
Yeah.
it's a good anime. It's
Is
a
it?
really good anime. I mean, for what it is, like it's not. I wouldn't say it's
When you say for what it is after you say something's really good, we all know what that really means.
no. It's. I wouldn't say it's a top tier anime, but it's
Sure.
it's definitely higher than like mid tier.
The amount of
would-
animes you
wouldn't be-
classify as mid to high tier it destroys me, dude.
Every anime.
Hold on. What about that high tier one from 1989? Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack. How about, what about
yeah.
that one?
I've never seen it.
Actually, it's
okay.
from
I'm
88.
kidding. I watched it. That's what we're covering today, Shweebs. We finally got to it. We're gonna spoil the shit out of it.
I just forcibly reeled that
Yeah.
one back in
Good call. Good call. Good call. Good
because
call.
we were talking about
Yeah.
furries there. Guys.
Okay. Good
Yeah,
point.
good.
Guilty. I was as well,
Yeah.
but
We're getting there. Okay, so we established last week when we talked about the original 3 Gundam movies that it's very Star Warsy, and Amuro is Luke Skywalker, and we talked about Char kind of being a Darth Vader. But what I discovered in this movie is that Char's not really Darth Vader at all. He's actually Thanos, and he's not wrong.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, and he has a much more laborious method of annihilating existence
Well, right, because he doesn't have an
Then-
Infinity Gauntlet.
than
yeah,
just doing
Yeah.
that.
right. But his philosophy is very same,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
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 I do like Thanos a lot for that reason.
Yeah. And Char's same vibe. So right off the top, it's like really does from a person who hasn't seen the shows that were in between. It is a pick up right where we left off moment when I started this movie.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people out there will know like Zeta and Double Zeta. Those anime series took place in between this coming out and the original Mobile Suit Gundam 0079. We decided to kind of gloss over that and just give Jordy like the highlights and more so just the notes on Char's development through those two shows. Because
Yeah.
that's really the big thing that leads into Char's Counterattack is, why is Char suddenly leading Zeon?
Yeah.
When through Zeta and Double Zeta, for anybody that's watched it, you know that he actually was fighting against Zeon for a little while. But of course, that's because people stepped in and took over where the Zabbies left off.
Yeah.
And, Char now doesn't like that. And
Yeah.
so he's taking the reins at the beginning of this film.
Yeah.
It's in his hands now.
Yeah.
It's his namesake. It
Yeah.
came from his father's philosophy.
Totally.
And he's the fucking man in charge. He's the big
Yeah.
man. No more fucking, Kaisilia Zabi and
Yeah.
Giran Zabi getting fucking shot in the face.
It's just Char. It's now Char.
Char Aznable,
That's it.
leader
Yeah.
of Neo Zeon.
He went off. He did some soul searching. He changed his name for a bit. Now he dresses cool and he's back in action.
hit up Anaheim Electronics for a sweet new fucking red ride.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
What was his
Sazabi.
name? You told me he had a silly name for a little while there.
Oh,
Quattro.
Quattro Vagina.
Yeah,
Perfect.
4 vaginas.
Yeah. That's a lot of Bajin.
4 of them.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, yeah, it really did flow right into this movie for me, not having watched those shows. It also didn't help that we watched Gundam, or I watched Gundam number 3,
Yeah.
like the night before.
Oh, perfect.
So it was like 1 and 1 to 1.
Bam.
So some off the top thoughts. There's like way less to keep track of in this film. As you all know, after we talked about it for 2 fucking straight hours last week, like a lot of shit went over my head. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this time that didn't happen, but we'll see when we get into it. If it did or didn't.
Okay.
And I know that it's because this is not a TV show boiled down into a movie. This is a movie. Correct?
Made to be.
So the flow and the pacing is like intended and not kind of like stitched together. And also it's like a singular, easy to follow plot. There's less of like hopping around from a bunch of different shit and again, stitching it together and more of one linear line of things happening. Do you know what I mean? Much easier for me to follow. Mikey mentioned also like early on in the intro that like everything leveled up. The animation leveled up. And then even in the story, like the tech levels up, the Newtype involvement levels up, even the space battles are leveled up. Like everything is just like, if the original 3 were here, we're at least here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's it's nice to see 10 years ish later in development and in anime writing, in mechanical design,
Totally.
in sci-fi as a genre developing and growing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And them honing their craft. You know what I mean? It wasn't like they did nothing in those 10 years. They had 2 anime series there.
Yeah.
That greatly amped things up. You
Right.
know, one thing I will say about those series is people can take or leave Zeta or Double Zeta. The mechanical designs, the Gundam designs in those are like top notch. Like you got some of the coolest suits.
Zazabi is fucking awesome.
You're right.
Yeah, like this like
This
Char's
is the pinnacle.
We were just
It's
talking
fucking
about that
cool.
before, how you were saying this is peak.
For
you,
Gundam
anyhow.
designs.
Yeah, for Gundam designs. I like a lot of the other ones too, some of the newer ones. Like
Yeah.
Unicorn is one of my
that's
favorite.
That's your baby.
That's one, like top 3 at
Yeah.
least.
Okay.
Yeah.
And New Gundam's a really cool design. It's very classic too.
Yeah.
But I like a chunky boy.
Oh yeah.
Like a chunky boy, eh?
I
Yeah.
like that Zazabi, man.
Yeah.
It's like
Those big fat legs.
Yeah.
You know what
Look
I
at those
mean?
shoulder
Like, they're
pads.
just- that's what I mean. Like,
Straight out of the
yeah,
80s.
it's imposing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's threatening. You know, and it the again that fucking Ferrari red paint job that they
Yeah.
put on it too.
Yeah.
It's just so iconic.
Yeah, because previously, again, and this is also like levels up in animation, but the colors they were using previously were like kind of simple one tone. Like the red he was before was like almost like a bland pinky red.
They were primary colors,
Yeah.
and the reason for that was because when they were making the toys,
Yeah.
they only had access to certain injectable plastics,
That's so funny.
so they had to make them primary colors.
Yeah.
Tomino hated it. Tomino's original idea and designs for even the OG Gundam colors
Yeah.
was not shit that would stand out in a battlefield like a sore thumb and get
Yeah.
you killed. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like he wanted to paint them like actual military vehicles.
Oh, that would be cool.
originally. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get that
you
in
get
later
that,
incarnations.
Yeah,
Okay.
you get that later.
Yeah, it gets fully realized, but that's what I mean. It's like it had time to marinate and it had time
Yeah.
to like cook.
Yeah,
and
really
come
like
out
the
well
way-
developed.
The development is key in Gundam, and I think I touched on that in the first episode about how like at first there's only a few, and then there's more and more and more, and that happens in this too. There's so many more now too. There's so much more to look at.
Absolutely. Each side now, it doesn't just, Zeon's not just working with Zaku's plus the goof.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now there's a whole fleet, a whole slew of different things, right?
Totally, yeah.
But also this is this is where you kind of also get more of an intro to Anaheim Electronics.
Yeah.
Which is the company behind manufacturing the mobile suits.
You don't get a lot of it. You get just a taste of it, and we'll get into that later on too. But
And
I
they
guess we can get into it now. If
They
you
get
want
into
to.
it later on in other series as well, much
Yeah.
deeper. But like the fact that they're playing both sides, they're manufacturing
That's the crazy thing.
weapons for both Xeon
Yeah.
and the Earth.
Which is the same thing as the real world.
I know, right, dude? Do you
Exactly.
remember,
I love that.
that came to light for me when. Do you remember the movie Lord of War?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's what that movie was all about, pretty much.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, and I know Nicolas Cage is like the subject of a lot of ridicule, but that movie is fucking something else, dude.
Yeah, and that was a way more serious role. He wasn't
Yeah.
crazy Nicolas
Yeah,
Cage.
the bees,
The bees.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage isn't the epitome of peak actors. What?
What?
I mean, he has his moments. Yeah, he has his moments. But yeah, the whole concept of like arms dealers and how they're just making them. They don't care who they're selling it to because they're just making them and selling them, and they get money.
One more layer of the horrors of war that
Yeah.
Gundam, likes to play around with.
Totally,
I
and
love
it also like lends credence to the fact of why sometimes they're so evenly matched because they're like essentially the same tag.
it really puts things back in the hands of the individuals and the characters, right?
Yeah, it puts it back in the. Remember we talked about that before. How the theme was always in the first movie, like, is it the pilot or the suit that is making you win all this time, right?
Yep.
And now we're learning like, oh, it really is the pilot. And with the introduction of more like new type abilities and the development of that, it becomes very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Two or three different people can get behind the seat of the same mobile suit, but
Yeah.
they're not going to be able to pilot at the same
Yeah,
way.
even in the first one, Sayla gets behind it and falls flat on her face.
Yeah.
Where Amuro gets
It's
in,
like
he's
the
like,
G-force just fucking
Yeah.
fucks her up, right?
Yeah. Do we have any sort of history, Senpai, over there in the corner? Anything?
Give us a quick one.
tidbits?
Yeah, so I guess if you guys haven't watched the first one, just another friendly reminder to go watch that or
Yeah.
listen to that, because
part
I
one.
cover pretty much a
Yeah.
lot of it. But for right now, Char's Counterattack, it's making its theatrical debut on March 12th, 1988. Char's Counterattack is the culmination of the original saga begun in Mobile Suit Gundam and continued through Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam and Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta, or ZZ, making the final conflict of the 14-year rivalry between the characters Amuro, Rei, and Char Aznable. In addition to being the first original Gundam theatrical release, Char's Counterattack was also the first Gundam production to make use of computer graphics during a 5-second shot of the seawater colony rotating in space.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Would.
I-
it's very hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Right. So,
Cool.
but like, again, we were talking about before how like with Gunpla, like they only could inject certain colors, right? And,
Yeah.
And right, it just shows how they had to work around a lot of these limitations back in the day, right? Like now
100%.
we don't have to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
They had to be
you-
smart.
Yeah. So anyway, so let's see. Yeah, rotating and being made at Toyo Links. Char's Counterattack was released in America on DVD on August 20th, 2002, and was broadcasted on January 4th, 2003 on Cartoon Network's and Adult Swim programming block.
Still no idea how all this shit flew under my radar when I was a kid.
Dude, man, fucking Cartoon Network was the best.
I was too busy
Yeah.
watching like Saved by the Bell and Full House, I think.
Nah, yeah.
Like legit though.
Yeah. So the other thing too is Bandai produced the Char's Counterattack 3D fighting game for the PlayStation in 1998 as part of the Big Bang project for Gundam's 20th anniversary. The game featured scenes from the film that were remade with updated animation and CGI. The game also has stages featuring Amuro and Char's classic encounters in the original Mobile Suit Gundam series.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
You're getting a PS5. Can you play that on it?
PlayStation 1.
I don't know.
PS5.
Can you get it?
Finally got a PS5. Can't wait to play this PS1 game.
It'd be fun.
You could probably emulate it.
you like
Yeah,
Gundam.
you can totally emulate it.
You
You
can
can
emulate it on your phone by this point.
yeah.
Okay, well now you're gonna have to, and you have to tell me how good
Yeah,
it is.
well, I
Okay.
mean, this is also coming from the guy who hasn't been gaming since Super Nintendo.
Me?
Yeah.
I played 64.
Oh yeah, you
I'll
just
smash you in Donkey Kong Country, motherfucker.
Hey man, hey.
That's Super Nintendo.
Is it?
Yes, Donkey Kong Country is Super Nintendo.
No.
Yes.
Yes, SNES.
You're thinking of Donkey Kong 64?
Yeah, there's Donkey Kong 60. There's
The
Diddy
yellow
Kong
cartridge?
Racing.
I'll smash you in
on-
Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, that was also a great 64 game.
No, dude,
But-
you're wrong. Donkey Kong Country is 64.
Dude,
Okay,
oh my
listen,
god,
bro.
I'm not even going
Dude,
to
because
answer-
it came
I
with
can't.
it came with the yellow controller.
I can't.
You're thinking
I
of
can't right
Donkey
now.
Kong 64?
Yeah.
There's a game for Super Nintendo called Donkey Kong Country. It's one of the most famous classic games of all time.
Yeah.
One of those games I'm really good at.
I don't believe you.
I'm really good at it.
Yeah,
Mikey
I
knows
don't-
that
I don't
knows
believe-
that I am.
I don't believe you anymore after this
You've seen
conversation.
me destroy that
yes,
game.
and it was the Super Nintendo one.
And that's the one I'm good at, and I'm an idiot.
And we digress.
Yes.
All right. Anyways, let's get into it. We could, off the top, talk about World, but I think it's the same World we discussed last week. They didn't update much.
Some shit has gone down obviously since then. There's
Yeah.
some big events happen in Zeta and Double Zeta, but for the most part,
I mean,
you can kind of pick up.
Totally.
You
I
can
mean,
kinda pick up.
tech has advanced, and they've made that clear.
Yes.
And
I
like
think it
in
was
the first
13 years after the
Okay.
Yeah.
the 1 year war.
There, perfect. Yeah. So yeah, in the first one, there's like you see one station in a comet, And in this one, you see a couple more. Like, that's a thing now. Do you know what I mean? So I guess that felt more new to me, even though probably that was always the case.
Yeah, kind of.
It was UC 0093 is when Char's counterattack happened.
Right.
One thing they
Makes
lean
sense.
into more in this movie is the fact that like Earth is kind of still doing its like for lack of a better term, more analog thing, and like space colonies are doing their like more digital thing. Like that divide is way bigger in this movie than it was in the first movie.
Sure.
It's a major plot point. That's part of the reason why, right?
Yeah.
But that's kind of it for World. Art we talked about is just leveled up across the board, right?
I think it's
so
beautiful.
crisp, much more crisp. The variety of colors we talked about,
Character designs I thought were really
totally.
beautiful.
The Gundam suits, the mobile suits.
Yeah, the way that everybody still looked like their mobiles, like their 0079 characters, but just like leveled up. Like
Yeah.
nobody felt super different. Like you even recognized Mirai,
Yeah.
like almost right away.
It took a minute. You're like, do you know who that is? And I was like, I do.
And
Like,
you,
I
and you
didn't,
did.
but
I
yeah.
was really impressed because I was
Yeah.
just like, "There's no fucking way this guy picked up that that's
Especially,
Mirai."
Yeah.
dude, because in the last episode I mentioned that there were a lot of characters that I like didn't care about. She was one of them.
We didn't even talk about her.
No,
No,
dude.
not
Because
really.
what is there to say?
But
Like,
she's
I-
technically a new type.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
is.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I actually like her better than Frabo.
well, Fra, like we'll get into it,
Fra
I guess.
was
But like,
just,
what the fuck happened to her? Where'd she go? She's not in this at all.
No, she gets together with a different guy and she gets married and has kids and does her own thing because she's
Char fucks off on her, basically.
No, because she's just a good
Amuro.
child
You
rearer.
did it again.
I wish
But you're absolutely right that yes,
Yeah.
Amuro does basically fuck off on her because
Yeah.
he gets all la la for la la.
They don't even literally like break up. He just like crushes
Kind
on
of
other
fucks
girls
off.
one after another.
And then
yeah.
she just gives up. She's like, fuck
Yeah.
this.
Good for her, actually.
Well,
to be
I
honest
mean,
with you.
he does get into Chan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
one of the other girls he
Yeah.
gets into. But also, well, as we'll get into, he's kind of shitty with her too.
He's not a good character.
No, he's not a good guy.
Great pilot,
A great pilot.
Yeah.
shitty character.
Just a shitty
Yeah.
character. That's like I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
if anything, they should have had Char be the focus of the
Well,
whole
I
thing.
actually feel more and more
is.
that he is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like he kind of is, right?
His
Well,
name's-
I mean,
his name's in the
even-
title.
But I'm talking about even through the original trilogy, right?
yeah.
Like he should. I wish we saw more of him than like as how
I
he's
agree.
more.
They kind of
prominent in
slow
this.
play him. You know what I mean? On purpose, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so music, still some strange music choices. One thing I will say is like at the end, we're jumping way ahead just to get into this point, but like when the Axis comet is like hurtling towards Earth, there's like a soundtrack that's this like massive classical symphony with no dance beats. It was
Just
really
normal.
nice, just a normal symphony.
It was
And
like they learned the last time that hit
yeah,
weird.
right? It's strange. It's like people.
Also, I think music progressed.
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, and like not just music, but music for film
Yeah,
specifically,
yes.
right? So it
Yeah.
actually like gave me much more Star Wars vibes. Like it was kind of John Williams-y almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like this was a decade after the first series released.
Totally,
Right? So
yeah.
a lot happens.
Yeah. A lot did happen. Yeah, 100%. That's all I got for world art and music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we already sang the praises of the mechanical design, which you
Yeah.
know is
Well,
another big standout.
actually, what's funny about the mechanical design, like when you go buy a Gunpla, and there's these new parts in Gunpla where they make them like there's called the MG, so they're master grade EX series, where they have like all the intricate mechanical pieces, and the best part is when you're building it.
No. No.
Yeah, you saw it coming.
For a second, I wasn't sure.
I was on board. I was just like, yeah, man, let's go,
Yeah.
do it, give it to him.
While
Come on.
while you go buy the Gunpla
Dude.
and you're building it, you can and watching this or listening to this podcast, you can help us out by subscribing and liking.
That's right, folks.
You can do that. Mike, you
right.
fucking owned me. At first, I was like, no. And then you started going into detail. And I was like, maybe.
I
And then
will
you
say
reeled me
the
the
Master
fuck
Grade
back
EX
in.
kits are very nice.
They
Yeah.
are really
They
nice.
have LEDs. They
Yeah.
light up. They're
Yeah.
fucking dope.
That's pretty cool.
They're a little bit out of my price range.
But you know what else is cool is that you can go online and like and subscribe and leave us a comment or say something nice to your friend about us because it fucking helps a lot.
Yes.
Everybody knows somebody that likes Gundam. At least one person.
Or anime.
Prove me wrong.
Well, I know you, both of you.
That's right. So
Yeah.
I'm right.
Yeah, you're right.
So
You
show
might
it
not,
to them.
Here's the thing, though. You
Show
might not
them.
know you have a friend who likes Gundam. So,
Yeah, they could be a closet Gundam.
so you got to find them.
or a closet anime fan.
You got to
So go around and ask everyone you know.
Everyone you know, exactly.
But you know what though? a little side tangent. I feel like anime fans aren't closeted. Like they don't pretend like it's a guilty pleasure. Like
Not anymore.
No,
Yeah.
that's true. It's very normalized in today's
Yeah.
culture.
You don't have to.
Gundam fans might be a different story though.
That's not true. Gundam fans are like super, especially
in the Gundam community, but they might not tell their normie friends.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I post pictures to everybody that I.
Yeah,
That's
like
true.
anytime I finish a model kit, I post it on.
I sell shirts.
Nerds. All right.
All right. Anyway,
I love you, nerds.
I like
Let's,
it. Okay.
Yeah. It's cool. It looks good.
I like it.
Yeah. Let's get into characters. A lot of friendly faces,
A lot.
but not all.
No.
In
but
fact, a lot of people aren't around anymore.
no.
But Amuro, still kicking. Still kind of the same. He's lieutenant now.
That's right.
But aside from that, he's the same old dude. Still shitty to women. Still kind of a bitch boy.
I don't. He's a little less of a bitch boy. I feel he's a little more battle ready. A little bit more.
Sure, a little hardened, maybe more. a little.
Exactly. A little
yeah,
more.
he's matured a little.
I'll
Yeah.
give you that. I'll give you that.
He's handling the strain a little bit better than he was before.
Fair enough.
I think it's important to note because that was so insufferable about him
Yeah.
previously.
Yeah.
And they addressed that.
Yeah. One thing that's weird is that with the advancement of all the new type shit, I actually felt like they pulled back on him a little bit with new type shit. Because, like, as an example, at the end of the other 3 movies, he's doing telepathy to non-new types even. Like, the whole crew, he gets them to evacuate by using telepathy. In this, he doesn't use telepathy once. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, what are his powers that are being advanced aside from being good at piloting the Gundam?
The very last scene of the movie.
I can't recall it until I get to it in my notes. Oh, you're right.
That's huge.
You're right. That is huge. You're right 100%.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that was all Amuro.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Because Char was a basketball stuck in the side of the fucking thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, Amuro basically sent new type powers through every soldier on the entire battlefield to
Yeah.
help repel this giant meteor.
Is that why they?
Yeah.
It was like a burst of new type energy. That giant green aurora that was left in the wake of it was like the
Okay.
culmination of all of this new type energy.
Okay,
And
so
I,
we're
like,
way ahead of ourselves, but I gotta say, I was a little confused by that.
yeah, and it's because it's very vague and symbolic. You don't
Yeah.
really get it handed to you, but just to understand like new types later on that they just are able to channel this energy and be like this conduit for
Interesting.
for life energy in space.
Interesting.
Anytime you
Interesting.
see something sparkle
Glowing.
and glowing,
Yeah.
other than a beam saber,
Yeah. It's
is
new type
usually
energy.
new type ish.
Literally.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
This is a situation where, like,
Chan had that piece of she called it psycho frame, and it's like
Yeah.
that little piece of metal that she was carrying on
Yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah.
That's almost like that itself
conduit.
is a conduit of
new
new
type
type
energy.
energy. So
it's just a thing she can hang on to.
it amplifies, it detects and amplifies new type energy.
Interesting.
And she's carrying that because it's kind of a symbol of this technology that they were starting to integrate into the mobile suits themselves.
yeah, they
that they
discussed
would-
that a little bit.
That
yeah.
they would resonate with the new type energy and that they would be able to control them. Like, because for example, everybody's favorite blue-haired, spoiled, rotten little brat.
Oh,
my
I
God.
hated her. She's so spoiled.
Yeah. She's dumb as fuck too. That's the problem.
Yeah.
She's piloting suits
Yeah.
and she's controlling funnels and doing all this stuff entirely with her brain.
She's new type.
What?
She's new type.
Yeah. That's what we're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean with her brain?
She was using her new type powers to use the suit to control the suit.
Yeah. They stick her in like the
Yeah,
most
yeah, yeah.
current, like the alpha.
And she just figures that she just understands it.
Yeah. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just completely intuitive for her.
Yeah.
Quest.
Yeah.
Quest-
You guys
Quest
are gonna
Pariah.
hate me for saying this, but like that thing at the end is like something I would have liked a little more explanation for, because like did not get that that's what was happening there.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it was,
I was
so
legit
apparent.
like, why are all the enemy like mobile suits coming to help him out all of a sudden? Like, what's happening here?
Because they realized that a fucking half a meteorite
Yeah.
or an asteroid is about to hit.
I know, but that
Mikey
but
said
they
earlier.
did that. They wanted that to
No,
happen.
no. But Mikey said earlier that part of being a new type is you're an empath.
Yeah.
Part of new type energy is empathy.
I just didn't
It is-
realize
it is
that-
understanding of human plight.
I get you. I just didn't realize that new type energy was what was driving that movement in the end.
When,
Would have
because
liked
they
that to
were
be
all glowing
explained.
green.
Yeah. But I didn't know that glowing was a thing.
Listen, my understanding of that is most certainly coming from all of the other shit that I've seen.
Yeah.
That supplements my understanding of Newtypes.
Yeah.
You're right. It doesn't come through in the movie.
Yeah.
And I could definitely understand somebody being maybe a little,
Yeah.
maybe not frustrated, but just like confused by the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because it is kind of the hardest they've leaned into space magic up
Yeah.
until that point.
Yeah.
People having telepathic conversations and whatnot. As far as the ramifications of that, it's not that huge.
It fell into place with all the other new
I
type
mean,
shit. It made sense.
This
yeah.
one was it
was a big move.
climax
Yeah.
of the entire story.
Okay, so you want to know a secret? Is that like I didn't acknowledge as it was happening that I wasn't understanding why it was happening. I was just accepting it and letting it happen.
Wait,
And then later
he
on,
was accepting
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then
We're finally getting
it's
to
happening. You guys are doing good work here. And then later on, when I was like making notes, sometimes I'll Google shit to remind myself what happened in certain scenes. And someone made a post like on a Reddit. It was like, why did everyone help the Amuro in the end stop the asteroid? And I was like, yeah, why the fuck did they do that?
Yeah.
But it was like way after the fact that I had that question.
Okay, but like if we're gonna talk about the end sequence here, Amuro was trying to stop it on his
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
And then EFF forces
Yeah.
came to help him because
Totally.
that's what they needed to do too.
They're
Yeah.
on his side.
Right?
Of course.
And then the only time that I would kind of question
Is
would
when
be
the
when
Xeon forces.
Xeon forces
Yeah.
came. But
Totally.
But that's when they were like, "Oh shit, we're actually doing something horrific. We're about to kill everybody on Earth. Let's actually stop this." And
Yeah.
they kind of turned it around.
Well, I
See,
guess
I don't even give them that credit
you
that
say
they made
it's-
that realization
you say they're like
on their own.
hypnotized or like
Not hypnotized, but overwhelmed.
Yeah, yeah,
but,
yeah.
taken aback by the energy that Amuro was putting out. It,
Yeah.
it made them feel empathy.
Yeah.
It forced it upon them on a new type level. That was why they were glowing green.
yeah.
I think it was to symbolize that they were being enveloped by the new type energy.
Yeah. Both
and
of
new
your
type energy
situations-
is empathy.
And both of your situations are possible, but yours fits the narrative more, I think.
Yeah.
Of the new type energy.
That's
Well,
true.
it's just less of a stretch to think that the Xeon guys would all of a sudden all just be like, fuck it, we'll help
Yeah,
them.
exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
If-
That's
if
fair.
that's
they
definitely
were-
more simple.
If they were that
but-
type of person, they would have done that way earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or they were just waiting for the right opportunity, and that,
that was the wrong
opportunity.
opportunity, though, because that's the like.
You're right. It's too late.
Yeah.
You really waited till the
Yeah,
end.
yeah,
Huh?
exactly. Yeah. Oh fuck, we fucked up, guys. Quick.
Quick, fuck!
Okay, we went way off on a tangent there to literally the end
very
of the fucking
end.
movie.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back around to characters. So Hathaway is a character in this movie.
Little baby Hathaway boy.
Little baby Hathaway.
It's kind of like a whack. He's kind of boring.
He's a little baby bitch.
He's kind of a little bit. He's kind of a little bitch boy.
He to me,
He's kind of an
he
Amuro.
fills the exactly.
Is that what you were gonna say?
He fills
Yeah.
the void
Yeah.
of like that young
like
Amuro
to
character.
the point, dude, where his,
everything is just fucking him up at that
his
point.
origin story is the same, dude. Their family has to split for the same reason. The dad has to go and work for the military.
Mm-hmm.
The mom has to stay back. And there's like a weird evacuation thing where
He
like they
gets
can only let
separated.
one. He gets separated.
Yeah,
right.
you'll see a reoccurring theme with a lot. Like if we get into a lot of the later
Yeah.
Gundam series, you'll see a reoccurring theme.
Families getting split up.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also just putting
Yeah.
children into big robots and making
Yeah.
them fight and giving them PTSD.
I kind of like as a concept, I'm familiar with that outside of anime.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it because Ender's Game was a series of novels I read when I was a kid.
dude,
yeah,
and it's
100%.
like that. But yeah, Hathaway just felt kind of like a burden to everybody the whole way through, and he's just like way too hung up on quests. Way
Absolutely.
too hung up.
Absolutely.
On her.
Yeah, but I mean, for how old was he? I don't even remember how old he was in this, but like at that age,
13 or 14 probably.
Like, you simp, like kids simp like so hard in those.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I did, dude.
But do you know what?
time.
He's
Yeah.
an example of a character, and like this comes up a lot. Like when you're seeing like the brainchild of these like, old Japanese men. Mm-hmm. It's like
he's what they were when they were little.
That's the thing. Who knows culturally what kind of world they grew up in as far as their relationship with girls and
Yeah.
and women and,
Yeah.
and just relationships in general, right? And this is them externalizing their own
for sure.
issues
Yeah.
potentially. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like Hathaway, he's like little baby, whatever. That again could be Tomino externalizing a part of him through that character,
well, and
right?
even more so because he's done it before. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot
it's
of
recurring.
Exactly.
Yes.
A lot of authors will tend to rewrite themselves into things over and over again.
Absolutely.
So that makes sense.
or also to dissect themselves and create multiple characters out of them.
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
So you see bits of Tomino possibly in multiple characters.
I totally
right?
buy that.
Yeah.
I totally buy that. So anyways, he's hung up on Quest, which brings us to Quest, who was a crazy character. And really the whole movie
Unhinged.
The whole movie revolves around her. She's the main pivot point for the whole movie. It's funny when you first meet her, dude, because she's like hanging out in India with her hippie friends.
Yeah.
And before I even knew she was important, I was like, this is fucking funny to me, dude. Because like,
Well, her friends got fucked up for like kidnapping.
yeah, and then literally her like politician dad like swoops in and is like, "What the fuck are you doing, you delinquent little piece of shit? Get in here, we're getting out of here!" And like swoops her up, right? She
bites her stepmom.
yeah, she's the epitome of your classic rebellious politician's kid. Like that's an archetype, right?
100%, man.
Absolutely.
It's the ball of hormones.
Yeah, and yeah, and just confusion and angst and like
Oh, yeah.
unhinged is the
Like
way
I
to put
said,
it.
yeah, totally.
I knew right away that she was going to be a new type.
Okay.
That was pretty clear really early on. And the way things she was talking and the way she like, even just when she gets on the ship and she's so interested in the Gundam suits right away.
Yeah.
Like she's drawn to them.
She's in the flight bay. She's getting
floating
in the
around.
mix.
People are like, hey, you can't float here. She's like,
yeah.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, and she flips from like Amuro and then right to Char.
She wants to be with whoever's the most powerful.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's her kind of her thing.
She's
right?
imprinting on all of them. Though.
Yeah.
Like I said, like new types do. They encounter other new types, and there's something happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't always manifest in a positive relationship
Yeah.
or a positive outcome, but
Yeah.
there is a connection created that is unshakable.
It's funny because at one point she like connects it to her friends in India with like some hippie shit, like spiritual shit. And that made me laugh so hard because I was like,
Nah.
yeah, it's not the case. Yeah, so I don't know, man. One of the funny moments of hers that made me laugh that just like really shined how childish she was. She pisses off Char's lady, and then she like goes on a rampage to find Char. She's like, she wasn't nice to me. And she's like
Yeah.
screaming about it and shit like that.
And Char's just like holding her. He's just like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk to her when we get back. She shouldn't
Exactly.
have been so mean to you.
Such a fucking child.
And she's
man.
just like, yeah, she was mean.
Such a fucking child. That being said, her like impact on the plot was like written very well.
I thought so
Like
as well.
as a
like,
plot point, great. As a character, like
the
murder me.
internet fucking hates her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hates her. I think she's routinely voted the least popular character in all of Gundam and anything.
Wow.
The least
Interesting.
popular, most hated.
Interesting.
Her and one other character who I'm not going to spoil because we're actually going to probably watch something that this other
Fair
character's
enough.
in. But people hate Quest, and I totally get why. She grates on your nerves, and she's makes decisions that just make you scratch your head.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think for as far as a plot device goes, and as far as a realistic depiction of, like we said, that 13-year-old unhinged insanity
Is well
that we've
written.
all lived through.
Yeah.
I think she's a phenomenal character.
Yeah,
She's actually one of
totally.
my favorite characters, and
She's not likable,
but she's
her
effective.
exactly. Yeah, 100%.
And that counts for something, I think.
It has to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Char. So
man.
Char's a different man now, though.
The man.
He's a
Yeah,
different
he's
man.
like-
He's way too cool for school now. He's
Yeah.
not, he doesn't wear a fancy outfit anymore. Now he's all fashionable and
Yeah,
laid back.
he's in his 30s at this point.
Yeah, true. He ditched all the regalia, and now he's like jeans and an overcoat kind of guy.
You know, he's a politician now at the same time.
I guess that's true.
He doesn't dress up for nobody.
Yeah. He has no one to impress anymore. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's like, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
He's not going to show up in full regalia
He's
for people.
finally accepted that his reputation precedes him.
You should be honored by his presence alone.
Yeah.
And they are. All the politicians are just like,
Totally.
wow, this means so much to us that you would actually be here.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And he's just like, yeah, well, it's the least I could do.
yeah.
It's like, wow.
Meanwhile,
All right.
it's like he's got ulterior motives and he's not there for them at all. You know, he's like doing
No,
his
he's
own
doing
shit.
his own thing as
Yeah.
he always has
Yeah.
done his whole fucking life.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, as much as he's changed, he's still also the same guy, right? He's just ever the anti-hero. He's got his motives, you know what I mean? And like, there's a little bit of altruism in there. Granted, like the price for his altruism is high, right? And it's Thanos all over again. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, there's one more character I feel like is worth bringing up, and you can bring up more if you want as well after this. But like, what the fuck is the deal? And we should have brought it up last time with Haro.
I love Haro.
So I hate Haro because
Fuck you.
Dude,
Amuro.
he literally is a non-entity, dude. He's a useless R2D2, and who owns him?
Amuro.
Amuro.
Wh- how-
He's
Okay,
Amuro's.
so All right.
Always has been.
I will.
Tell me, educate me on this little fucking ball.
So I don't know what it is. I think it's at this point I'm just gonna chalk it up to like me being Asian and loving weird like charms and chibi shit.
Yeah.
Because I get that like chibi stuff isn't as popular in North America as it is in Japan.
Yeah.
But like when you see any other anime that has like that staple of like the main character with like its little cute little like companion, mascot, yeah. I don't know. There's something about Haro, like even in Gundam Seed, where like they have tons of little tiny ones. I want a fucking Haro that's
but here's my question.
Like, it's just
what does it do?
it's a companion.
It's a companion, but it's like a little mini like personal computer.
Yeah,
It did nothing in all 4 of the movies we watched.
it's not supposed to. He's just a cute little thing.
So here's the other thing. I'm down with a cute little thing like a sidekick or a little companion or whatever, but like this one didn't look cool either.
Nah, I don't.
That might just be like a cultural disconnect there because like when I look at Haro, like this sounds really extreme and really crazy, but it's like America has Mickey Mouse, Japan has Haro.
That is very extreme.
I
because
know.
Doesn't Japan have like
Hello Kitty and all these other things?
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, like as far as an iconic face, an iconic emblem for the country, you know, you can get more specific. Fine, Japan has Hello Kitty. Okay, Japan's science fiction community has Haro.
We have R2D2.
Absolutely, he's yeah. I mean, I knew Haro's face before I even knew that he was in Gundam.
Okay, interesting.
He was just a face I kept seeing pop up. In just Japanese culture in various ways. And then I was like, oh, yeah, okay, he's in Gundam. He's cool.
Well, you guys are allowed to like him.
Look, I will give you that fucking, R2D2 is way more useful than Haro is.
And cooler looking.
I would argue R2D2 is too useful.
Too useful, yes.
What?
Agreed.
In what way, shape, or form?
To the fact that he provides plot armor.
What? What do you mean by plot armor? Oh, like...
the situations that they get out of entirely because of R2D2.
I'll give you that they do overuse him, especially outside of the original trilogy.
Big time.
Yeah, they do overuse him.
Anyway.
Little Deus Machina.
Sure.
Yeah.
We digress.
Do we do that?
Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that
Sometimes
Okay,
we do.
Fair enough. Okay, let's get into the plot.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
So
sometimes I do.
I miss out on all your guys' cute
Bobby
jokes.
Lee.
Bobby Lee from like
Mad
Mad
TV.
TV
Bobby
years
Lee.
ago.
Actually, I believe that this exact interaction has happened on an episode here before in the past.
That's impossible. We digress.
All right, let's get into plot. So we're dropped back in, and Zeon is dropping shit on Earth again.
Back at it.
Dropping shit on Earth.
They want to put the Earth into an ice age.
Yeah.
They want to reset.
Exactly, and they're going to do it with an asteroid.
Yeah.
This time instead of a bunch of colonies falling down onto Earth.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're building colonies in asteroids.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. They're dropping something on Earth that will destroy it.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. And as we said earlier, there's like a ton of suits now, right? And so, like I said, I'm a broken record again, but like I like that there were a few at first. Now there's many. I get the vibe of the progression of what's going on here, right? And they all look way doper than before. They're like Amuro's all souped up, and Char finally gets a souped up suit because his was like felt plain to me before. Yeah, and the color coding is key again, right?
Yep.
Like Char's still got his white, or Char's got his red, Amuro's got his white, and I don't have to care about the seafoam green guys. Right away I learned that. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't have to care
They're
about
cannon
them.
fodder.
They'll die,
Yes.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
So what's crazy is the asteroid actually hits right away, right? Immediately. And again, remember we talked about accidental comedy? This lady gets launched. Remember we were fucking laughing so hard.
So launched.
It reminded me of like in the Titanic when they
yeah. The Wilhelm scream.
It had that vibe for someone,
yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get an intro here a little bit to the elite squad, Londo Bell, right? Which is pretty much Red Squadron.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
And Amuro is still Luke Skywalker because he's Red Leader.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally.
But again, it works because I understand it. It's in a framework for me, for a simpleton, for a Star Wars fan, it makes sense.
And it's nuanced because Luke just had a regular X-Wing and Amuro has that bad boy.
That's
Yeah.
true. I will say that
I think is kinda cool.
It is cool. I agree
Yeah.
with you there. So we kind of get here like a re-intro to everything that we had before. We get like an intro on what's happening with Newtype. Like they basically tell you what's expanded, which is smart, right? Because if you didn't watch the other series, you're going to want to know.
Sure.
So we know Newtypes are like their powers are expanding, right? We now know they're augmenting humans to make them into Newtypes.
They're
which is
modifying
crazy.
normal humans
Exactly.
into cyber Newtypes.
Yeah. We also learned that
Gyune, that's a character we didn't touch on. He's the main one, with the black hair.
right on the Xeon side.
That's right.
Okay.
He's like the main cyber Newtype that we get in this.
I called him the other guy, and it's funny because when I called him the other guy, I was talking about the weird love triangle that's going on, and then Amuro also calls him the other guy at one point. And I was like,
nice.
don't need to know his name.
Validation.
Yeah. So we also learned they're integrating the Newtype tech into the suits.
That's right. Psycho
Which-
frames are becoming a thing.
Yes, I didn't love this, to be honest with you. Not
Okay.
my favorite
What?
element because
It gets so much.
It doesn't-
Not to spoil anything, but it gets so much more imperative later on.
I get that it probably does, and maybe it fleshes out and explains a bit more. But to me, it felt like the new type energy was definitely like a person-to-person energy. It was about your mind, it was about your perception, and the fact that they can make a piece of tech that works off of it felt a little strange to me because the whole show's about tech. And it was nice to have a little non-tech element that was just magic, and now they made the magic also tech.
But you don't like magic.
I like magic when it's simple and when it's explained inside of a framework, but then when they build on it and take it outside of that framework, then they lose me.
I think for me, it actually feels very grounded because is it not so real that they would try to weaponize something?
Sure.
Like a person-to-person connection.
Totally. And
especially when it's proving advantageous in the battlefield in previous instances.
I did think they were doing that, but in my mind, it was more of like a super soldier thing than like let's figure out how to get that energy from your brain into the suit. Do you know what I mean? It was like, let's make an elite squadron of these new types, and they're our weapon now. You know what I mean?
I think it's both.
Yeah, it is both. You're right.
Both are happening.
I just didn't love it. It just fell outside of the framework of how I understood or how I had convinced myself new types should work.
New type should work.
Based
yeah.
on my comfort levels of magic.
Yeah.
Okay. But whatever, it's fine.
I just love. So you just made up your mind, just like I know what fucking new types are.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, based on what was given to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is
okay.
everything.
What?
Huh?
What?
All right.
on.
Then.
Okay.
So Amuro has a new lady friend, Chen. Surprise, surprise.
Chan.
Because that's probably he probably had a few others in between, is my guess, to be honest with you.
Who knows?
But I don't know.
Who
And
knows?
as we mentioned before, Fra's nowhere to be found, like left in the dust, I guess. Who knows what's going on with her?
Well, she had a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She found someone.
Okay, good for her.
Yeah.
I'm proud of her.
Yeah.
So then he and Chan get in a suit, and she's like literally sitting in his lap.
That arrangement is so awkward.
Guy, which is
dude.
really funny because a minute later she gets off his lap and goes and sits in an actual seat behind him.
right behind him. Just like what was the purpose?
Just go sit in the seat. That's what it's there
Just
for.
do it that way.
Yeah. I wonder if they were trying to be cute. Sit on my lap in the Gundam, honey.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Or if there was some functionality to like when you're taking off, this is
Nah.
the takeoff position, and that's the gunner seat. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. That one, I just think they were just establishing that there was a bit more to their relationship than just being like.
Probably. It looked awkward as shit,
Yeah.
though, dude. It's like if I'm driving a car in the driver's seat and I ask like someone to sit
No,
in my
it's-
lap,
you're-
and I'm like,
No,
Okay,
you
let's
you
go.
pull down a weird metal fold-up chair from the ceiling that goes right in front of you
on your lap. She's
And
not even
then-
sitting in his lap.
and then
Yeah.
I hop on top of it
Yeah.
and sit there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
my ass is basically right here.
Yeah.
While you sit there and drive your car.
Perfect.
I can't wait until we do Darling in the Franks, man.
Oh yeah.
You're a
I know.
fucking weirdo, my dude.
Oh, I know.
You're weirdo.
And if you guys know out there watching,
You're also
know.
weirdos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys
you know. We'll
you
get
guys
there.
know.
Yeah. Okay, so
This is why we're starting slow with this.
Yeah.
We gotta work up to that. Oh fuck.
You guys are gonna
Anyways,
kill me. Okay, so Hathaway is on a plane right now because we established he got separated from his mom and his sister, and also on the plane is Quest and her dad. And Quest and him start hitting it off. Quest and Hathaway, they start chatting.
hitting it off.
I mean, they start chatting. They start talking.
Yeah, which is all they
just-
ever do.
So much talking between the two of them, dude.
Yeah.
And I'll give it. At some points, their conversations were like kind of interesting because
Yeah.
they're really like kind of debating the morals of war and which side you should really be on. You know what I mean? after the battle breaks out, this plane that's like trying to evacuate has to dock, and they happen to dock on Bright's ship, who happens to also be Hathaway's dad. Right?
Happy reunion.
Yeah, exactly. Which also happened to Amuro in the other movie. So again, we're getting another carbon copy of what happened before. We get a weird dream sequence for Amuro with Lala. And at the time, I thought, and actually still like to maybe think, although you guys can tell me yay or nay, that like she can still connect maybe from the spirit world through some new type energy. Is that the truth?
I would say yay.
I like that.
Yeah.
I would,
like that.
I would say that, yeah. When new types die,
Yeah.
there's like an ascension.
Is this a thing or is this you think?
No,
I think it's implied.
yeah, this is pretty heavily
If you're saying
implied.
implied, that says to me you think.
I said heavily implied.
Okay, fair
And more so in the sense that they don't say, hey,
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
this is what's happening right now.
Right.
More so like,
Listen.
listen. Yeah, it's not fucking a little fairy annoying me.
I'll take it because I like it. I'll take it because I like it.
I'm telling you, dude, you're
Yeah.
on the right track with that.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I was really glad to see her because she's, in theory, she was dead, and writing her off felt wrong because of how important she is to Char and Amuro and their conflict between the two of them.
Yeah.
Which, again, as I'm saying that while I'm watching it, I didn't realize how much of a plot point that becomes in this specific movie as well, too, right?
100%.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're holed up in the ship, and Quest and Hathaway are talking more and more and more. And yeah, so Quest seems to lean more towards Char's philosophy, or rather, I should say, the Thanos philosophy.
Yeah.
She's kind of down for it. You know what I mean? And Hathaway's like, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't kill humans, basically. Which is more my philosophy. So, yeah, that was interesting. Yeah. So, and we learn that Char is now in charge of Zeon. Maybe we learned that before, but this is when I learned it. So, whatever. And he's got big Hitler energy. Big. They like zig. This is where they sig Zeon him.
Yeah.
We talked about it in the
Yeah.
last movie. And that's another one of those moments where they said that and we're watching it together. And my head goes, and you go, right?
Yeah, you heard them do it to the zombies in the original trilogy,
Yeah.
like once or twice.
Yeah.
But like this is the first time that one individual
Yeah.
standing alone
Yeah.
is getting
Yeah. Legitimate.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
sigged.
crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot.
legit sigged.
Legit sick. And not so close to when in real life that happened. This is like much later in life. In our world, I'm talking about. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Much
Much more
further
removed.
from that actual reality, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So it was like harder to swallow.
But
I
the
think,
motif,
in
the
context.
motif is constant.
Yeah.
You know, throughout.
I don't doubt it,
And
yeah.
Universal Century in particular,
Yeah.
the Nazi motif is very much in the
Yeah.
mix.
It seems like Japanese culture, and because my experience of it with anime, seems more comfortable to use that kind of symbolism. Whereas, like in
Yeah.
our culture, it's untouchable.
Their
in a lot of
education
ways.
system is just differently, right? Like
Yeah.
they're taught and they're taught about it entirely differently. Their
Yeah.
attitude around it is entirely different.
Sure.
You can say that about a lot of countries, right?
Yeah.
That's why, total side tangent or whatnot, but like some K-pop groups have gotten in trouble for doing photo shoots in military garments and not
Interesting.
double checking and realizing afterwards that there was a swastika or something on like a hat.
Interesting.
And now they got to go and pull all this stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it becomes this huge deal. And it's just like, you can't get mad at the wardrobe people for not checking and looking at that because
Totally.
they don't see that and have the sirens go off in their head
Yeah.
like Western people do,
Sure,
right?
but
They see
like-
that and they're just like, "Pff, whatever, I don't even know what the fuck that
Well,
is.
that's
Put
the
it
thing,
on,
right?
it looks good.
It's even in like other animes where if there's militaries like Attack on Titans, right? Or where they have armbands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
like
right.
they
Dude,
they
in,
don't make those same connections in that same way. They look
sure.
at it as just either a fashion statement or
Yeah.
a timepiece.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. And I was going to say Full Metal Alchemist, they have the Führer.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They like actually have the pure.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it seems
yeah.
more, they seem more like less turned off by it. Whereas here it's like, no.
Yeah, culturally just more willing to play with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Okay.
nearly as culturally sensitive, I would,
Sure.
say. Yeah.
You'd
Fair
say
enough.
that.
Yeah. Okay, so moving back into the plot, we get like a legit fist fight between Char and Amuro. And it has this vibe like best buddies like settling a feud or
Drunk
something.
fighting outside a bar.
Yeah, like they had
Yeah.
a disagreement and they're fighting, and in the end, you're going to see them like all beaten up, drinking a beer, and laughing about it or
But
something.
correlations like kind of back to like Ramba Rao.
Yeah.
meeting Amuro
Yeah.
and just being like, "This is out here.
Yeah.
We'll settle this differently out here. I'm not going to
Totally.
kill you here.
Well, and it's like it's
We'll
it's
see
also,
you later in the suits."
It's also personal, right? Because it's about Lala, right? Because
Ultimately, you find that out later.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Char burns him so hard, but like in a funny way that's reminiscent of an earlier theme, but used in a different way. He says like, unlike you, I'm more than just a pilot. But he's not talking about like pilot versus suit. He's talking about like, I run the entire Xeon Nation right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you just pilot a mobile suit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a soldier.
Yeah.
I'm running the fucking
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
world,
Yeah.
the universe.
Yeah. Which is kind of
And
cool.
I've got a badass mech suit.
yeah, I got both. Yeah, I got both. Exactly.
And I'm gonna steal this girl.
yeah. Yeah.
Because that's when he does. That's
Yeah.
when he grabs Quest.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
and they take off, right? But this furthers like how I've said, previously, how I'm confident that Char is a new type, because Char didn't just grab some random little girl.
right.
Yeah, he knew.
He grabbed a girl
Interesting.
that was overflowing with new type energy that
Interesting.
he could detect.
See, again, I just feel like an explanation or a little hint more would have been nice as opposed to leaving it all up to me because I'll miss
I'm
it.
just really sick at deduction, bro.
You're great at it, dude. I'll give you that, man. And I'm awful at it, right? I'm awful
No, I
at
don't
it.
know. That would like that's just my theory, and like it seems
Yeah.
to pan out.
There's been a bunch of
elsewhere.
times, dude, where you tell me some cockamamie theory and you're done with it, and I'm like, okay, I like that one. That one works. I'm going to use that one. Yeah. So I'll give you that one too.
cockamamie me.
Cockamamie J. Okay, so you're right. Quest gets taken away by Char, and now she's like living her best life out there.
Yeah, she's thriving.
Yeah, dude, she's given everything she ever wanted. She's got a mobile suit now. Do you know what I mean?
Dude, they gave her the and she got the jagged doga.
Yeah.
And they colored it like that pinkish red.
Yeah.
And her normal suit is also that reddish color.
Okay.
Again, just
Yeah.
really laying into like she's like Char's like sidekick.
What
now.
they're laying into is that she's the new Lala,
Lala.
right? And that's intentional.
She's replacing Lala for Char in some weird fucked up ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, which gets explained later. I was gonna make, but this is a good point for it. Is Char even says this to Amuro? He's like, she has daddy issues, and I'm her daddy, and I have mommy issues, and Lala was my mommy.
Yeah.
That's basically how he lays it out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And that point, like, to me, like I kind of got the nuance of that. But that's a big divisive one online. I find in a lot of communities is
Yeah.
people not understanding. It's like, what the fuck? Char saw Lala as a mom? What the hell are you talking about? It's just
That
like,
one was weird though.
but like if you understand like the nuance again of what Char wanted out of that, but then
Yeah.
what Char then does to everybody else
Yeah.
that he encounters or lets get close to him.
Yeah.
You start to realize why Char would have seen Lala as a mother. Char wouldn't have just seen Lala as a mother. I think he also was interested in her romantically.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure he
yeah.
was.
But there are
100%.
plenty of guys out there who also want a mother out of their partner.
Oh, big time, dude.
yeah,
and,
that's
and, I,
also
and, I,
true.
and
yeah.
I think that was Char with Lala.
Yeah. Well, and in context of your cockamamie new type theory, he also needed someone to teach him the ways of his new type energy, right? And she's
For
an
sure.
ultra powerful, kind of like actualized new type.
Yeah.
And at the time, it seemed like he kind of wasn't.
Yep.
Right. And so he needs a mother figure to like mother him through that process of figuring it all out. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Earth Federation makes a deal to sell an asteroid to Xeon, which seems kind of crazy because Xeon is run by like a warlord, renegade, revolutionist with a history
Of dropping shit on Earth.
things on Earth, dude.
Yeah.
Literally slamming asteroids into Earth, and they're like, "We'll sell you this really good one." Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's got rockets and everything. on it.
Exactly right, and it just
and
happens.
nukes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just happens.
Yeah.
So Char's rallying the rebellion now. He goes to this colony, Sweetwater Colony.
Yep.
Which essentially feels like kind of like a slum, a refugee slum.
Yeah.
And he's like gathering support, which is like a good move, dude. Like he's killing it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like as a rebellion leader, he knows where to go. He knows what to say. He knows who to talk to.
More than just a pilot.
Yeah. So then we head out to the Axis asteroid, which is the asteroid in question, right? And there's space battles, which was kind of nice in this movie. It wasn't just space battle, space battle, space battle. There was a healthy amount of them, but it wasn't just continuous. But now we get into like the big one at the Axis station, right?
Yeah.
So Neo Zeon fires on EFF forces and decimates them, which is like I think a throw to the sunbeam cannon or the solar cannon or whatever earlier.
I think there was maybe a bit of mirroring going on there.
Totally, yeah. And this battle goes crazy, and like everyone's getting in suits, and Quest is in her suit, and she blows up her own dad without even fucking knowing it, dude.
And but she feels it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of a
feels
delay.
weird.
It fucks her up, dude. She
Yeah.
starts panicking, right?
Yeah.
And again, also another thing that happens, everyone's getting slapped again.
lot
Hathaway's
of
getting
slapping
slapped.
going on,
Quest is
dude.
getting slapped. I'm laughing.
Dude,
it's a good
being
time.
handed out
Everyone's
left,
having a
right,
good
and
time.
center.
Yeah. And yeah, so Londo Bell then shows up, which is what the Zeon troops were like. They were like scared that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. They talked about it a
Everybody's
bunch.
scared of the new Gundam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they show up and they start facing off, and then again, Mikey, you said nukes. I was like, guess we're using nukes now.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I guess like, do nukes have less impact in space? Is that like scientifically true? Like if you blow up a nuke in space, is it gonna like?
It's a great question.
That is a good question.
Because to me, that was the only way I could justify the fact that we're using nukes now. Because otherwise, in my head, I'm like, what about mutually assured destruction? Like, are you destroying your own shit too?
I imagine nuclear fallout would definitely be different in space.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Like I
Would
think
definitely be
because it's a
different.
vacuum, like whatever the radiation doesn't spread in the same way.
That's right.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
I'm full of shit. I have no idea what I'm talking
but no,
about.
nukes like the inclusion of nukes like is it's supposed to be a big deal.
Yeah, it's ramping up the fact that we're still in the same war and it's getting worse, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be noteworthy.
Yeah.
They're
You
not
guys
just trying
want
to
to know?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So this is from historynasa.gov. So if a nuclear weapon is exploded in a vacuum, i.e. in space, the complexion of weapon effects changes drastically. First, in the absence of an atmosphere, blast disappears completely. Second, thermal radiation, as usual defined, also disappears.
So like no damage from nukes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No. It would be effective only in the instantaneous
in an imminent area.
explosion.
Yeah.
And then would immediately dissipate.
Interesting.
So it would be more like a ballistic.
yeah,
As opposed to an actual
fascinating.
radioactive weapon.
Interesting.
That's fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
so
yeah.
they're basically just huge bombs.
Yeah, pretty much.
With no lasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Massive explosives.
Nuclear war in space.
Massive explosives.
Interesting. Wow, we learned something new today.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so now we learned that the plan all along was to smash the Axis asteroid into Earth, which of course we all knew.
Axis drop.
We all knew, of course, right? Space battles raging on. People are dying left, right, and center. Someone gets squeezed to death. Who was that? I remember laughing.
That was Chan.
That was Chen.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then
you were like you like double tagged. You're
Yeah.
just like, wait, did she just get squeezed to death?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, she did.
yeah, dude. That was fucking crazy, man. And yeah, Londo Bell like basically lays out the way they're gonna attack, right? Which is cool because we get a little bit of that military tactic, but I'm not laden down with it to the point where I can't follow the movie, right?
Sure.
So their plan is they're gonna go to the thrusters first to slow it down, and then full on attack, or sneak in and hit the weak spot like the Death Star.
Just like the Death Star.
Like it's identical, man. Yeah.
There are these corridors that intersect, and if hit with enough explosive,
If we aim just
will cause a
correctly.
critical damage. It's like okay.
Same. They're even looking at the schematics, and this is yeah.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Where is Akbar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a prop. Exactly, though, 100%. And
I
you
did
know
wanna
what? You know
say,
what they'll
though-
do? They'll take off their aiming device and they'll use Newtype energy to aim properly.
course they will.
Yeah.
Duh.
The another reoccurring theme for Char's counterattack is that in the first one they always kill off a woman to like motivate a guy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
You just squeeze her to death and then let her go into space.
right. It motivates fucking Amuro, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so meanwhile, there's this crazy whole, what I'm calling a love pentagon going on.
Ah.
Because it's not a triangle, because there's too many fucking people
The
involved.
love to gone.
Yeah, the love. So Char's in a relationship with Ninai,
Yeah.
right? They're in a relationship.
Nanai.
Nanai? Yeah.
Nanai? Okay.
Nanai. Yeah.
Nanai.
Yeah.
Totally.
Nanai. Yeah.
He's also grooming Quest to fill Lala's position, right?
Pretty much.
And it's like ambiguously romantic in a weird way. More
It's
so on her
romantic-
side because she wants it bad.
I was gonna say it's romantic insofar as he needs it to be to keep her
Exactly.
interested.
Exactly.
But I don't think he has any actual intention of following through with any of it.
No, of course.
In fact, he actually gets in Gyune's face in one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Where he gets up to him and he's just like, because this is right after Gyune like went at like Quest being like, he only loves Nanai. He doesn't love you. You know
and
what I
Lala,
mean?
he tells her about that too, right?
Yeah. And then like Char confronts Gyune and he's just like, so I heard you think that I have like feelings for, for all these different people. And it's just like, let me tell you exactly what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And he fucking just lays it out for him. And he's just like, mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Here's
what
what
made
I
you
care
think
about.
that?
Yeah.
And don't you go around telling other people otherwise. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Gyune's just like,
Okay, sorry. Yeah. And then what's funny is after hearing that, he goes after Quest because he wants Quest.
Yeah.
Right?
that's right.
And Gyune's like simping hard.
So hard,
Well,
dude.
same with Hathaway, but Gyune's
Hathaway's
also
Hathaway's the fifth member of the Love Pentagon because he wants Quest too.
But Gyune's
Yeah.
also, I think it's important to note, he's a cyber Newtype.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
He is your introduction, and
Yeah.
in conversation about him, that's
Yeah.
when I guess you found out for the first time
Totally.
that was a thing.
They talk about it early on in the movie before I think you even meet him. They mention
Yeah.
that it's happening,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's the first one you meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Won't be the last, my friend. Will not be the last.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so battle, missiles, bombs, things are blowing up, which is crazy that it's missiles and bombs. Like you said, it's supposed to be noteworthy because before it was just Gundams and the Gundams were hand-to-hand fighting. And now it's like a lot of ships and, like I said, missiles and bombs, which is interesting, right? Changing it up a bit.
Yep.
And Quest is all fucked up after Char basically tells her, I'm not interested in that for you. Like, this is your role here, basically. In another moment, which is like, hey, quit overstepping, right?
Yeah.
Like, he has to keep these children in line, basically, is what's going on.
Yeah. He's realizing he's still dealing with little kids.
Yeah. And so I thought, okay, so here's why I didn't think Chan was the squeeze to death, because I thought that who is fighting with Hathaway? Someone's fighting with Hathaway and steps in, and Hathaway murders Chan, doesn't he? Who does he kill?
I don't remember.
Hathaway murders, like, friendly fire murders somebody in a suit.
Oh. Crap. Look it up. Just Google. Who
I
does
thought that was Chan.
Who does Hathaway kill in Char's counterattack?
Because Chan
gets
shoots
squeezed.
Someone shoots Quest, and she's dead. And then Hathaway watches it happen, loses his mind, shoots that person. A friendly fire. I don't know. Somebody dies by it. That's the story. That's what happens, regardless of who it was.
Yeah, so
No, it was-
Chan accidentally fires a missile in the direction of two younger pilots, but Quest jumps in front of Hathaway and takes the hit, dying as her alpha explodes. Enraged Hathaway fires back and kills Chan. Oh, that's right.
I am senpai.
It was the blonde chick.
Yeah.
The blonde one that it's like blonde Chan. Do you remember her? They
No, to be honest
introduced
with
her
you,
out of
yeah.
nowhere. She's another pilot. She gets squeezed.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's got blonde hair,
Yeah.
but it's the same shortcut, just like Chan.
Yeah, she's blonde Chan.
It's Kara, or whatever her
That's
name
it.
is. Kara Sue.
Okay.
Yes.
I am senpai
Okay.
now.
Yes.
Oh man.
You're right.
Thank you very much. Anyways,
You're right. Sorry.
that's okay.
It's not often
we got
we're
it.
wrong. It's not often we're wrong.
No, we can be
Often enough.
forgiven here.
Often enough. Someone needs to make a supercut of me saying I'm senpai. 'Cause there's enough of them.
Also, if you're at home right now and you're really, really mad at us because we've just gone the last like 30 minutes talking about Chan being squeezed,
Yeah.
then like record a
Sorry.
video or something of you being mad and send it to us.
Yeah.
So we know how mad you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's be real here. I'm
Senpai.
Right
No.
now,
Yeah.
most certainly you are, my friend.
No, I
Most
am.
certainly you are.
Shut up, I am. I got that right. Okay, so here's the other crazy thing about that scene. So yeah, okay, Quest is dead, Chan's dead. Hathaway murdered Chan, friendly fire, never held accountable. No one mentions it. Right?
No, not yet.
Oh, does that happen in future shit that you're not going to talk? Okay, fair enough. Alrighty then. So yeah, Char and Amuro
Let's just say he doesn't forget that he did that.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. I like that.
He holds himself accountable.
Okay. I mean,
That counts.
sure.
It does.
does.
Absolutely counts.
You're right,
dude.
you're right. But
Come
also,
on.
like, maybe go to jail for a while.
He's like 13.
Yeah, but he murdered somebody. Friendly fire.
He's 13 being forced into war.
Yeah.
What are you gonna put him?
Jail.
No, you're gonna put him on a ship, make him fight.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's what they do. They put you in jail for a minute, and they're like, actually, get out here and
we
fight with
need
us.
you.
Yeah. That's how it goes. Yeah.
Wait until I make you watch fucking Iron Blood Orphan.
Ooh.
Yeah,
another Gundam series.
So it's a self-contained Gundam series, but you feel the children part in that one more.
They go harder on it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
The name is Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Yeah,
That sounds terrible.
Orphans.
Sounds terrible.
Do you like orphans?
I mean, I don't like when they're bloodied
Right. So you won't like the show then.
No.
Because they are
Okay.
often bloodied.
with iron. We digress again. Okay, so but back at the fight,
Yes.
two things are going on right now. Char and Amuro are going face to face beast mode, and Amuro's destroying Char. He's getting fucking smoked, like left, right, and center. And at the same time, also the EFF attack on the Axis, like asteroid, succeeds, but only to a point. So it splits it in two, and
not
the
enough.
back half is now still hurtling towards Earth. Right.
That's right.
And that's when Amuro jumps in front of the asteroid to try and stop it. And we pretty much went over this at the top of the movie.
He starts to glow.
He starts to glow, and then everyone joins in, and now we know why. Thanks to Jay's cockamamie theories.
Well, now we maybe know why.
We like it.
Yeah,
We
like
do.
it.
We like it, and we do.
Okay.
So everyone joins in. Literally everyone in the battle is now like holding this asteroid and trying to keep it, but it's not working. They're all like peeling off like fucking flies because they're burning up.
Some of
on
them
re-entry.
are literally exploding.
Yeah, and we already know from earlier movies that the Gundam is built for atmospheric
Capable
entry.
of re-entry,
We
yeah.
already know that, right?
Yeah.
So it makes sense that all the other ones are blowing up and he can handle it. So, and then in the end, dude, they explain that the reason why it works is because thoughts and feelings and the heart of humanity. And right away, I'm like, fuck me forever. Fuck me forever with this shit.
Why?
Because I hate that shit, dude.
But why?
Don't tell me that it's feelings that make things work, man.
I think it is.
Do you?
I think it's nice.
Look, I'll give you an honest answer with like that whole thoughts and feelings and Newtype stuff.
Yeah.
So like I like the idea of Newtypes being like just a more evolved, human race,
Sure.
and being able to quickly get into and pilot a Gundam,
Yeah.
or being able to like intuitively know what the enemy's doing.
Sure.
But fuck, that's
That's what I'm saying, dude.
humans. Shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, how hard would it have been for them to, instead of saying it was thoughts and feelings, to them saying your theory?
Yeah.
Because your theory I like.
But
and if they had just said, hey, it worked because...
They did say it just in a more fancy...
in a floofy, kind of flowery way that
Yeah.
didn't actually explain anything. It was bullshit.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, for
I like
me,
the floofy
yeah,
flowers.
Gundam is always just gonna be space battles and wicked mobile suits.
Yeah.
that's
true.
what I want out of a Gundam series.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the politics kind of is like, okay, I can get behind it a little bit, but
It's
that's
good
not
when it's
why I
not
watch
too
it.
muddy. Yeah, I agree. You're right.
Like
In the
people
end-
out there who know, Gundam fans out there who know, Mikey's like a Thunderbolt guy. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like a unicorn guy.
Yeah.
Right? For sure. 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
That checks out.
Yeah,
You're just
Yeah.
about action and like fucking badass mobile
Yeah.
suits and
Yeah.
space battles. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the designs are super cool.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
now
We're
you
at the
know,
end, basically.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. I
Basically,
mean,
at the end, thoughts and feelings and the heart of humanity works out.
fuck yeah, it does.
And now, actually, at the end, the two halves of the Axis comet float above the Earth's atmosphere like the two suns of Tatooine.
That had to be what they were trying to do.
It was, right?
No.
I think it was.
Oh god.
I'll let you have one cockamamie.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.
So,
You've
like,
had enough.
I feel
You've
like
had your
that's the
share.
word of the day, cockamamie.
I was going to say,
It
I
might
really
be.
like that word right now.
Yeah. And that's it, man. That's the end of...
Well, that's not it.
Why?
Because we're just getting started on the Universal Century.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we have much more to go, my friend.
True.
There's a lot of really awesome shit. People out there, you guys, if you know that we got the 90s OVAs to get into. Some of those are absolute classics. Probably some of the best content in Gundam anything can be found in those.
Yeah, and I like that they're kind of self-contained too. In
For
certain
sure.
ways.
I also like that.
They're their own story. Dude, I'm telling how nice would a 6 or 12 episode show be?
Dude. Give me that.
right?
Give me
And
that.
now.
It's
Yeah.
nice, consolidated. Like,
Yeah.
straight
And
to the
then
point.
eventually, guys, we will definitely be getting to the modern stuff as soon as possible. I know Mikey is
Well-
getting a little antsy. I think he wants to jump to it as soon as possible.
But Gundam Hathaway just came out not too long ago, right? And like that's pretty modern within the UC universe.
Yeah.
And even with Unicorn, that's pretty modern within the UC universe.
It is.
Right? Like it's
We'll get to
yeah,
it.
we'll get to it. And we'll get to all the other stuff too, like Iron Blood Orphan or Gundam Wing.
Wing we'll
Like,
have to do for sure. Yeah.
But in the meantime, that's our Gundam
That's our intro to Gundam.
intro to
Yeah,
Gundam.
Gundam 101.
Part
Yeah.
2 concluded. We got our crash course to the Universal Century. All you elitists and purists out there, you're welcome. I started him off right.
Yeah.
I didn't start him on
Yeah.
any of the weird shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably what I would have done.
Sacred timeline has been honored. You're welcome.
Thank you.
But it's true.
thank
though.
you.
It is true though. Like if Jay wasn't here to keep us on the UC timeline, I would have.
You would have jumped us to something crazy like Soul Eater, like we started.
Mikey would choose violence
Mikey,
every time.
The king of odd choices.
Violence on you.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I expose you to as much anime bullshit
As possible. Mikey often will say, I'm a bit of a sadist. And I know this to be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I'm trying to like get you to fall in love with this stuff.
Yeah.
He just wants to see you be traumatized by as much of it as
Yeah.
possible.
Well, for what it's worth, you're both doing a great job.
Aw,
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
that's fucking
Yeah.
sweet, man. Thank you.
No problem. You want a rating on this one?
That was sexy.
That was sexy.
That was really sexy. You got some new ones, eh?
No, we've had that one before. I just haven't hit it in a while.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I just haven't aroused him until now.
Yeah.
Rating for me. This honestly, guys, is like tippy tip top
Yeah.
of the ladder for me. In general, I will say there's a few pacing issues here and there. It does drag in a few moments, but this is just too important, too massive for me. I'm gonna go full blown 9.5.
Wow,
And as you
9.5.
know, that's the highest rating we can give because we don't give 10s.
Well, technically, it would be a 9.9.
No one's given partial points but you,
that's
buddy.
true.
I have never made a commitment to not giving 10s like in both of you guys have. What I will say is I haven't given a 10 yet. This
Yeah.
does tie for the highest score that I've given.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair enough.
It would like honestly, I would give a 10 if it is an absolute mind-blowing masterpiece.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but I have yet to find a masterpiece.
Sure.
Like
Fair.
that. But what about you, Jordy? What's your rating?
I had given it a 7. And after reading through the notes and chatting with you guys, I almost want to give it an extra 0.5 because reminiscing was really nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, like remembering it was much more fun than remembering the other three. Remembering
Yeah,
the other
hell
three
yeah.
was like actually painful.
It was a chore.
It was hard.
It was hard. It was probably a hard listen
Yeah.
for you guys
Yeah.
too.
I'm
but-
sorry for that, but remembering this one was like really fun and like.
And I
this-
think if you ever do like a repeat watch, you know,
It's
maybe
this.
even a social context,
Yeah.
the three of us watch it.
Yeah.
It would be a fun repeat watch.
For sure, 100%. So yeah, it's the same kind of good vibes as before, but a much tighter package, easier for me to digest.
7.5.
Let's give it a 7.5.
Yeah, nice.
Fuck yeah,
that was
that's
a good
sick,
time.
dude.
That's
I
a good.
like
That's
that.
a solid.
I'm
There-
happy.
I will say there was like a lot for me to make fun of.
Yeah,
But that didn't-
Quest is
but that
the
didn't ruin the
fucking
movie.
blunt of every joke.
And that didn't ruin the movie. Like
Yeah.
I say, like I can make fun of things I like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's the case here. Like, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. This is, I guess, the reason how important this series is, right?
Yeah.
Up until this movie, because everything after that always refers back to this whole history of the 1 Year War and like and all the different characters.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
so that's why it's so important because like if you watch Unicorn. You're not going to know what the fuck's going on. You're not going to, well, like, you're going to see cool battles.
Yeah.
But you're not going to understand why they're battling or
Yeah.
who they're referring to.
Sure.
But the way
Right.
we're taking you through this, Unicorn is gonna hit you so beautifully, dude.
yeah.
Like we are gonna set you up for everything you need to know.
Yeah.
So that whenever something crazy happens in Unicorn, that's a good callback or
Yeah.
like something
Yeah.
on theme.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fucking there, dude. You're gonna be
Yeah.
on it.
You're my Gundam Sherpas.
I like that.
I feel like that was racially charged.
No. Why?
Because Mikey looks like a Tibetan Sherpa.
I promise you it was not racially charged.
Mikey's Korean, okay? He's not from Tibet.
I'm well aware. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Mikey, what's your rating? You didn't give it.
Oh yeah, mine's a solid 8.
8.
All right.
8.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a good solid 8 for me.
Yeah.
Gundams are on point as far as design goes. Yeah, the importance of it moving forward, watching all the more later Gundams, like it's all there. So
Fuck
Sweet.
yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I'm the only one who liked it.
What?
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, Jay, where can people find you, bud?
Hangar91.bigcartel.com is my web store. Check it out for all the nerd gear, all the stuff from previous episodes. I've got that sweet flash sheet for Char's Counterattack up there, as well as probably some merch. I've made so much Gundam stuff even before this podcast. That it's like, it's kind of just like getting back into my old groove again.
Yeah.
I know. I should have worn one of your Gundam shirts.
That's where I kind of cut my teeth as far as like digital design and stuff, was actually doing Gundam stuff. So
Nice.
this
And
is
you
kind
had
of
a
fun.
Kit Bash too print that I got.
I
That's
did.
fucking sweet.
Yeah, I got so maybe I'll revive some of that stuff too. We'll see. But and also hangar.91 on Instagram.
Also, for people who don't know, and mainly Jordy, kit bashing is when you take multiple Gunpla kits and
Combine them into something new.
Something new.
I thought maybe you were going to say you smash them to pieces after you
But
build
I
them.
drew one that was a combination of a bunch of different Gundams.
Ah,
that
cool.
were, like a bunch of my favorites.
You made your own Gundam.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sick. Did you make it more powerful than the Gundam?
Of course.
Is that frowned upon?
No.
Okay.
Technically, the most powerful Gundam, I think, is
Fennec?
oh yeah, Fennec. I can't remember what the ratings are, but Barbatos is one of them.
Lupus Rex. Yeah,
Lupus
maybe.
Rex.
But that's a different universe.
Yeah.
UC, gotta be Fennec.
Yeah, 100%. UC is Fennec for sure.
You'll get to that.
When I was a kid, my brother drew a picture of a Star Trek ship, and he goes, "Don't tell anyone, but it's like more powerful than the Starship Enterprise." It's like people will get mad if they knew that I did it that way.
I'm pissed. Yeah. He was right.
Yeah.
I'm those people that got mad that he did it that way. What
Yeah.
a fucking asshole.
What an asshole, dude.
He made it more powerful?
Yeah. More powerful than the Enterprise.
Piece of shit.
Can you believe the audacity? My God. Anyways, I'm reaching in on Instagram, and you can see me there. You can yell at me, at my brother through me.
You might also find him on Reddit somewhere.
I love you, Jordy's. I love you, Jordy's brother.
If you
I
see
don't
me on
actually
Reddit,
think,
say what's up and tell me to fuck off or like agree with my hot takes.
And I'm Mikey Lee. You can find me at Korean Barbecue 86. I've got cats. I've got toys. I've got Gunpla.
Hell yeah.
And I got more cats.
Thank you guys for putting up with me being in this chair for 2 fucking episodes.
Hey, they love
Oh my
you.
God.
But wait, a little bit of a spoiler. We are going to be covering Dragon Ball Z at some point.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, we didn't even start him on Dragon Ball. But
No.
we'll both be in those chairs.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're gonna
That
double.
one.
We're gonna double team you.
Yeah.
That sounds sexually charged.
And that'll be on
Yeah.
onlyfans.com/anime.
Coming soon.
All right. Bye, guys.
See ya, Shweebs.
Bye.
Bye.